Alright, you guys asked for it and I'm glad you did because I really wanted to keep this going. Here's part 2 of one tech for every character in Smash Ultimate. I'm gonna get right into it, same rules apply. I'm looking into one interesting tech or technique, which basically means like a play or a setup or a strategy, you get it. And it doesn't have to be fully optimal, but it can't be completely useless either, and it can't be something super obvious like, did you know you can, I don't know, spam Terry's down tilt and win? I want you to look at the stuff I pick and think like, oh, that's cool, I could use that. And also, yes, I'm gonna be using sources for a bunch of these, they'll all be linked in the description. Last time we covered these 10 characters and now we're looking into the first 10 in the A tier. Next episode, I'll check out the other 10 characters in A tier, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss part 3. And also, if you have any ideas for a future character and you want your suggestion to be featured in the next part, I'd love to hear your ideas out in the comments. And alright, let's go. Zero Suit Samus's tech for this video starts out as something simple, but the more you think about it and the more you experiment with it, the crazier it gets and the more potential you'll start to see in it. This is Paralyzer Ledge Canceling. Paralyzer is ZSS's neutral B, it's the gun that stuns opponents for a little bit, and by B-reversing or wave bouncing it near a platform's ledge or the stage's ledge, you can cancel it as you slip and descend, and you get some cool movement. This character relies a lot on her super high mobility and baiting and reading and being smart, which is why these types of plays are always welcome. It does take some practice because your positioning needs to be on point, but you can go for surprise approaches or baits or shoot 2 paralyzers or try to get some stage control or condition shields, and it's pretty cool. I found this from Sparta's ZSS, who has tons of Zero Suit stuff on their channel, and this deck is pretty cool, but I also imagine it's kind of risky because you kind of give up stage control to do it if you have to be up on a platform, right? And having to retreat to do it just doesn't sound like a good idea, right? Especially when Nair or Zero are also really good, easier ways to hold the stage. So because of this, doing it in neutral might be a little risky, but again, ZSS, good mobility never hurts, and I don't see this a lot, so that's fun. 15 minutes in training mode and you should have this down. The window for a ledge cancel is a lot more lenient than it looks. For Terry, I chose to talk about crack locks and crack loops. Crack shoot is Terry's back special and it has 2 hits that are meant to connect to each other. So if you use down tilt a couple times to make sure you can hit up tilt at a distance where the light version of crack shoot will only hit with the first of the 2 hits, it'll drag opponents down and you have some loop potential and some jab lock potential that I've never seen a Terry do before. I like it. I got this from a video by Ikechi here on YouTube, who posted a really good guide explaining this because crack locks and crack loops are the same combo, but we call it a crack lock when your opponent lands in a tumble and a crack loop when they land on their feet. This is determined by whether or not you landed crack shoot while your opponent was ascending from the up tilt or descending. I lapped this out and Ikechi was right, the percentage is irrelevant. If you hit crack shoot while they're going up, they'll land on their feet, and if it hits while they're descending, then you get a tech chase. One disclaimer, if you get the tumble, you're good for a tech chase, but if you do the version that makes your opponent land on their feet, they can air dodge out of it beforehand, and if they land next to you, there's nothing you can do that will true combo out of it. But that's where your reactions come in, because you can catch air dodges with Burning Knuckle, shields with a grab, and your down tilt is frame 6. So if your opponent does anything that lets you land a down tilt, you can just repeat the loop and get a second shot at a tech chase. Again, Ikechi made a super good video on all this, go check it out for more info like good follow-ups and ways to call out air dodges, percent rages for this, and how Terry's rage can affect how true this is. I don't see this string a lot though, maybe because all the Terrys I fight online are Elite Smash scrubs who only jab twice and down B, which you can SDI by the way, sorry Terry mains, I know this is forbidden knowledge, but also I imagine a lot of actual real Terry players don't go for it because it's pretty tight, and online reacting to options and getting the timing right can be a lot more difficult. But it's a cool combo, so thanks Ikechi for the fun tech, and now we move on to my queen. Alright, this is my main, so Lucina's pick has to be good, and it is. I've talked about Lucina a lot on this channel before, but there's one setup I brushed past in a video I uploaded last year. I'm sure someone else out there has done this before, this game is played by a lot of people, but I've never seen anyone else do it, or give it a name, or recognize it as a legit play, or take it to tournaments, or spread the tech on YouTube like I have. I've done all these things, you get it. So as the true founder of this tech, I'm gonna name it the Air Dodge of Shame. This is super simple, it's just like a funny cheese thing you can do. It works mainly when opponents decide to recover super low on you. Bonus points the slower and more vertical it is, like K-Rool, Fox and Falco, or Ridley. And all you gotta do is jump down like you're gonna try to go for an edge guard or save spike, and so you basically just give him a slap with the first hit of side B and bait out an air dodge. In my experience, the first couple times you go for this, it'll work great, but after a few times, anyone with a brain is gonna start expecting it and they'll either not tech on purpose, air dodge up, or do their best to not recover low against you, which is really good because Lucina is an insane edge guarder. If you slap them and they don't air dodge, odds are they'll still panic and use up B and recover, which means you can still mess with them either by surprising them with up B or fair, or mess with their timing by using nair or just doing side B1 again. Air dodge up is, I guess, the counterplay, but you can just go lower and do side B at a distance where it wouldn't go up enough to reach the ledge anyway. Out on quick play and Elite Smash, this will absolutely work on most people. Offline, I mean maybe, but the only time I've been counterplayed while using this is offline. So I use it in moderation on locals, but more against people who I've never fought before, I guess, because there's no real way for them to know about it. Until now, I guess, because I just posted this on my huge YouTube channel, but it's free wins online at least.
They trying to be. They trying to be. She wanted me.
Alright, so Corrin, I got some suggestions to cover insta-pin, which is where you jump and side B to bring out the pin lightning quick, but I feel like it's too iconic. It's kind of a staple Corrin thing, so instead I have something that is like insta-pin, and it's called the platform ledge cancel. Kind of like the Zerosu thing, but it's different, trust me. This is a funky ledge drop option. It might not look like it, but this can cover neutral getup, and we know pin stipper is pretty nasty. And after practicing this, it's pretty easy to spam on people, which is the main difference that this has from insta-pin. I found this from Aliu on YouTube, who has a bunch of cool Corrin stuff on their channel. So go check out this video that has a bunch of other cool Corrin tech, and yeah, this one was hard. Corrin doesn't have a lot of obscure tech. All of their stuff is silly enough to be used a lot in brackets, so there's not a lot of obscure stuff. For Bayo, I have some dumb bullshit. This is Witch Strike, and it's an advanced Bayonetta tech that pays tribute to her Smash 4 days, where she could kill you off the top with an inescapable 0-to-death combo by killing you off the top with an inescapable 0-to-death combo. Cool.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Leon. No way! No way! Oh,
basically, Witch Twist, Bayo's up B, has a bunch of hitboxes that are meant to connect into each other. But like pretty much all multi-hit moves in this game, you can always just not land all the multi-hits, and most of the time it just opens up a bunch of possibilities like new combos and whatever, and Witch Twist is no different. Because if you land only this hitbox during the rising part of the move, you can just do it again, and if you're high enough, you can go for a forward air and cheat. Witch Strike already combos into a second Witch Strike, but it is escapable through SDI, and also it usually doesn't send far enough for it to consistently lead into kills off the top. But if you space it like this and only land this hitbox, all of this goes away because you can't SDI and it'll send higher than normal, which means it will kill off the top better. It sucks, I hate this. Turnaround up Bs or wave bounce up Bs are usually the way to go for this because you do need some funky momentum for this to work, which is good, because I mean, if this combo was easy, I would need to go set up an appointment with a therapist or something, I don't know. Go check out Pop's video for different ways to combo into it. His video on this is super well made because it also has things like what to do against floaties or fast folders and some good combo routes. And finally, I looked into the Witch Strike thanks to a comment by Bayonetta, so thanks a lot for the suggestion. This character gives me headaches. Alright, for Shulk, we have a true kill confirm that starts killing at 40%. And like most Shulk tomfoolery, this involves his neutral B Monado arts. Here it is. This is the Monado Cyclone. The name is a lot cooler than the actual combo. I have no idea why this is its name. I don't know what's so Cyclone about this. Moving on though, the reason you need to use speed art for this is because up air here has 2 hitboxes, and the only way to do a buffered short hop up air and get the second hitbox is with speed online. Once you land the up air, you need to buffer another jump while using Monado, so you're jumping while having the Monado dial out, and then quickly use smash art, double jump, and up air. This will kill really early, but you obviously need to practice these inputs if you plan on adding it to your game, because it's a pretty tight combo since you gotta switch between arts. And also go check out Meta of Smash's video on this confirm for a way more detailed explanation and tips on landing it more consistently. Alright, I'm editing the video right now, and while I was recording footage for this combo with Shulk, I noticed that the combo counter wasn't going up. So I rewatched the Meta of Smash video to try to see what I was doing wrong, or if I just needed more practice or different controls to make it easier or whatever, and that's when I found out why Shulk players never do this combo. It's frame perfect. I won't get into the specifics, but to make the combo work, you need to use another Shulk tech called Dial Storage, which gives you 1 frame, literally 1 extra frame, and that ends up being the difference that would make the combo counter go up. So I'll leave you guys another video alongside the Meta of Smash one I mentioned for how to Dial Storage, but even without doing it, this combo can be true if your opponent has a slower air dodge, or they choose to do anything else that lets you land the up air anyway. So yeah, frame perfect. let's move on. Pokemon Trainer was really hard to choose because there's a really obvious pick for their staple tech, which is Quick Swap that lets you swap between Squirtle, Ivy, and Charizard better. And apart from that one tech, everything else on YouTube about Pokemon Trainer is just like really useful guides, but you know, I'm looking for stuff that maybe is a little less useful. So you know what, I play PT a lot and I'm just gonna pick my own stuff. So I hope it doesn't end up being too obvious, but I don't think it will be. I think this stuff is cool. Squirtle's F Smash is surprisingly strong, and if you don't play PT, you might not even know this because the average online warrior Pokemon Trainer never tries to kill with Squirtle. But you can get a tech chase with F tilt, and if you catch a missed tech, you can jab lock and scoot your opponent forward with the second jab, and it'll make this kill even earlier because you get better positioning. Razor Leaf is really good at covering get up options in general, but especially in platforms because rolling away can't save you, and because Ivy does this while in the air, which means it's easier to get follow-ups with her amazing aerials or even up smash for a hard read. My bad if this is too obvious, but Ivysaur is really fun in this game, and I rarely see her side B be used offensively. I pretty much always see it as a zoning tool or to help approach, but rarely as part of a combo. It's pretty cool. If you fought any Bowser or Charizard, you'll know they love to use neutral Bs at ledge, and I never really thought much of it because it's good damage, sure, but it'll never kill you or gimp you. Like, you can just use up again or wait it out if you have a tether. But ideally, you still don't want to get hit by it, right? They can do a lot of damage, and for heavies like Bowser and Charizard, that can pretty frequently end up being a big deal because they can kill really early sometimes. A lot of the time, the counterplay to this is to just recover high. So a tip for next time you're ledge trapping with Charizard, after you've done this a couple times and you know your opponent is gonna go out of their way to avoid it, just stand there and call out their option. I know it's just conditioning, I'm sorry if this is too basic or too simple, but I still thought this was interesting because this might be like the one best introduction to conditioning opponents. It's super straightforward. I think it's the most basic low-level example of conditioning. So if you're new to this game or you're new to trying to be good at this game, just do this because he gets so much off of callouts and reads, as do most heavies, and this is just like a 50-50. Either they do this or they do the other thing. Standing there menacingly without using flamethrower and just waiting for your opponent's approach is actually pretty good, and it really helps Charizard's ledge trap game. Alright, for Pac-Man, we have the Nuke. I found this video by Purple Debo, and the name of the tech was too cool for me to ignore it. And unlike Shulk's Cyclone thing, the name for this tech is actually super appropriate because this is a true combo that either breaks shields or does like 60% in less than a second and will probably set up for an edge guard. All you gotta do is get the key in your hand, so not charged neutrally, it has to be in your hand. The easiest way to get it like this is by throwing it under the stage and catching it after it bounces back, but Purple Debo's video can show you a couple other ways to get the key in your hand, and after that all you have to do is be above your opponent, Z drop the key and down B as soon as you can and go for an air. It's pretty stupid. I like this combo very much. Also go check out the video I used in the description if you want more info. Like other aerials you can use instead of Nair depending on what situation you want to create. Like if you want an edge guard, if you just want damage, the aerial you do out of down B can vary, so good luck doing it. This combo is pretty easy, it does a lot of damage, and the only real setup required to do it is getting the key in your hand. And after some practice, that's probably going to be really easy, right? What's up my plumbers? Plumber is their word. Pocket Mario here. I'm looking to lab out funky stuff with Mario. What is your favorite weird Mario tech? He has no tech. Alright. Alright, plan B. I saw this once and I have to know what happened here. Is there a way to do this intentionally? Alright, plan C. I'm gonna look into this montage of Kurama's Mario and find something cool. And I found something cool. It might be a little too obvious, but if you're a Mario man, you get it. He's a pretty straightforward character. So instead of going into a specific technique or whatever, I'm gonna look into how Kurama manages to combo into fair out of up air so consistently. Never mind, there's nothing to it, just fast fall it. Alright, as satisfying as this feels to land, I feel bad for having this be Mario's tech for this series. I feel like it's too obvious or too simple. So you know what, to balance this out, you Mario mains are gonna get a little lightning round. Hopefully this does your people justice. Alright, number one, Mario has a crazy combo game, we know this. But at 0%, a combo a lot of players use is up throw into downer into up air. It only deals around 30%, but a lot of people go for it anyway because his combo game is a lot more flexible at this percent than it is at 0. Number two, learn how to turn around your up smash next time you're mashing it on someone, because the back of the hit comes out at frame 6, so if you don't turn around your up smashes regularly, you're missing out. This move might be a lot better than you think. Number 3, down air is your only multi-hit move. It has some cool combo potential if you land with it. Number 4, this character has no lag on any of his moves. It's crazy, just mash. For Wolf, I'm looking into Shine combos. A lot of you probably already know that Shine has some combo potential, but for Wolf's turn, Shine is so cool. We all love Wolf. Everybody knows how to play Wolf. If you don't know how to play Wolf, yes, you do. So I decided to make this segment a little Shine combo guide. Shine combos are too versatile for me to just give you one combo, so I'm just gonna give you the most properties and some examples of what it can do instead. By the way, Derivative made a really good guide for this. The link to his video will be with all the other ones, and alright, let's get into it. Shine's hitbox comes out on frame 6, which is kind of insane because this is faster than all of his aerials and you can act after frame 30. It has bad range though, you need to be really close to your opponent, and it also does mess with Wolf's amazing airspeed, but it still works as a combo starter and extender. Shine does deal damage, so it can help with tagging a little bit of extra damage if you ever feel like that 5% is gonna be the difference, who knows. Wolf has a super flexible combo game. Fair or Nair can help you set up for a Shine, but also you can just jump and Shine, and this works. So Shine combos out of shield are a thing, but your opponent has to be super close to you because again the hitbox is really small. Check out Derivative's guide for more info on DI and a bigger list of follow-ups, but what I've learned after a little while in trading mode is that it sets up into a bunch of stuff and even back air into sweet spot side B. So that's really cool, but the combo window is tight, so this does take some practice if you want to do these combos against a real person consistently. A thing Wolf can struggle with is that a lot of his combo starting options are falling aerials, so a rising Shine out of shield does a pretty good job trying to patch this weakness off. Big thanks to Tumultuous Tortellini for suggesting this in part 1 of the series. You rock, this was super fun to learn and it makes Wolf like 10 times more fun to play. Alright, so that was part 2 of one cool tech for every character. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas for future characters in the comments. I guarantee I'll hear you all out. And before I go, be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss part 3 where we'll be covering the top half of A tier. If you know something for Cloud, hit me up. My mind is blank. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.